Hi everyone, welcome back to David at Go to Hobbies. Right, truck driving. Another reason, a few more reasons why I suggest you don't do it. Parking. You can't park where you'd like to park. You can't park safely. The risk to your life, the risk to the load, fuel theft, that is just a few things. But not only that, it's about, if you do park in the services at night, you're not going to get a good night's sleep because you've got people coming and going, people talking in front of you, fridges running. That is just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to become a HGV driver, most of the time people park in the services, but I don't like parking in the services. They're too noisy, and the risk of being having loads stolen or the curtains slashed, and not only that, the risk of actually having diesel theft. So that's one of the reasons, not to do it. But also DVLA and VOSA. VOSA have checkpoints around the country to make sure drivers abiding by the law, right? The vehicles are kept up to standard. They're there to protect you and me, right? And if you want the honest truth, you think to yourself, what's right with my vehicle? What's wrong with my vehicle? You've been given a vehicle to drive, yeah? And how's the maintenance on the vehicle? Have you got a boss that won't pay for parking? Have you got a boss that does things indifferently? And any boss is all about making money and making sure that the job's done properly. That's what bosses do, right? But what takes the piss is where they expect you to drive from one place. I'll give you an example this morning, right? I started at 6 o'clock, done my vehicle checks, left about 6:30 from the yard, drove to Long Rake, and the reason it takes a long time to get there, normally it'll take me probably at least half hour, 45 minutes to say, but it takes me twice that long, is because they closed the 515 northbound. The southbound's open, but northbound's closed. So that takes a little bit of time. So double the length of time. So I got there about, I don't know, 7:30. Got loaded and then had a 4 hour drive to where I am now. Or, sorry, a 4 hour drive from the place down the road in Ipswich. What should have taken me a 4 hour drive took me to 3 o'clock this afternoon to get here. And the reason for that was, one, I had to stop for a 50-minute break, right? So that's another hour on top of it. So I would have been here at 1:30 without stoppages. So that would have been 2:30, right? And then I had to stop to go use the toilet, and that's probably 20 minutes. So 2:30, 10 to 3. Got held up in traffic, call it 3 o'clock. I got there about 10 past, right? And the problem being with this job is that because you can't just drop your pants at the side of the road, you need to use the toilet. If you need to take a break, they expect you to have a break and use that time to have a toilet. But this is one of the reasons why I don't like this job, because they expect you to do what they want you to do, right? But you're not a human being, you're a robot to them. You get the job done to earn them money. It's about How many pound signs can you get out of a driver? How much money can you make from them? And it's like this. I'm not going to rush around, tarsing around, but I'll do the job safely. And the way I see it is this. The problem is they expect you to run around like a headless chicken. If it takes me 4 hours to get here, right, I'll bear in mind I've always driven an hour and a half to do the collection, so that's 5.5 hours. So I needed to take a 45-minute break, whereas I took 50, right? But what you got to take in consideration is where you stop. I stopped at the side of the road. There was no toilet there, so I didn't. All right. I just had to wait till I got to the services, which I did do. I pulled into the services to use the toilet. But it's almost like, oh, we want you there now. What's taking you so long? And this is the sort of aggravation you get from the bosses as a HGV driver. If you was working in a factory, right, you'd just tell your colleague, I'm just going to the toilet, it covers 5 minutes. Yeah. If it's a wee, it's fine. If it's a number 2, it might take a bit, it covers for 20 minutes, I'm just going to use the toilet. And that's what your mates do at work. But there's no mates in this business. It's dog eat dog. It is an absolutely awful job. And there's no loyalty, there's no you know what I mean, teamwork. Everyone wants to piss on your strawberries. Everyone. And make you have a bad day. And then you're thinking, is it really worth becoming a HGV driver? I'll let you decide that in this video, but I already know the answer. And I'll tell you now, I wish I'd listened to that truck driver that told me all those years ago. I said to him, that's what I want to do when I grow up. And he said, don't do it, son. You'll regret it for the rest of your life. And here we are, regretting it for the rest of my life. And hopefully, you'll see the wood for the trees, and you'll take my advice, and don't touch this job with a barge pole. And it's not about money. Well, it is and it isn't. It's about the conditions you have to work in, the bosses you have to work for, the deliveries you have to make, the collections you have to make, and the way people treat you, and the way motorists treat you as well, and other fellow truck drivers. And overall, as a whole picture, I've just covered a very small part of that, a very small part. There is a lot bigger to go, but this video is nearly 10 minutes long, and I've just skimmed the surface. So anyway, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, because it's very important. And also, please like, share and subscribe. But please think twice before coming into this career. It is not as everyone thinks it is. It is a horrible job. It's a stressful job. And like I said at the beginning, you don't know whether you're going to get home tonight. You don't know if you're going to be killed on the road. Take that into consideration when making a decision, please. Thanks for watching. See you next video. Bye bye.